Good evening. It's a wonderful evening. Today I would want to speak with the parents. I know the results of our national exam has just been released recently, and different people acted differently. There's a lot of celebration for some, while others just went silent, depending on how their children performed. Today I would want to speak specifically to parents whose children may not have done very well, may not have achieved whatever they had expected or whatever you as a parent had expected. One thing I would want you to realize, the results of an exam is not the end of life. It doesn't define your child. And I would want you to know, whatever you say, whatever you do during that time, it will later crush the confidence of that child or even boost the confidence of that child. So, what do you need to do during those times, and what are some of the things that you need not to do? Some of the things that you ought not to do is to blame that child. When you blame that child, you make them feel guilty of what they've done. When you even start blaming the teachers or even blaming the examiners that maybe they never did very well, or the way they moderated could have been they over moderated it, you make your child not to learn even from that experience. Instead, they'll tend to blame others even for their mistakes and even for their own for whatever they have done. So please don't blame anyone. Accept the results that have come. Secondly, you also need not to judge that child or even label them. I know some parents, when the results come, they feel so disappointed because the child never reached their expectation. The child never performed according to the way that they had expected. And they'll label that child and even call them stupid or even lazy. They would even tell them, I knew you were not very serious and I told you this. You need to accept that child. When you charge them, they'll also feel guilty and their confidence will go down. Instead, you need to reassure that child. You need to encourage that child. That's what they need during this very moment. Again, you don't need to compare that child with any other. Many times parents will compare one child to another, maybe their own siblings. And they live and maybe the elder ones have set a standard very high, they have done very well, and you expect that the one who had just sat for exam to also perform very well. And maybe they didn't reach your expectation. And you also condemn them because you're not like your elder brother or your elder sister. Parents, you need to remember, no two persons are the same. Every person is unique. They have their own strengths. They have their own weaknesses. So allow them to be who they are. Don't pressurize them just to be like their sisters or their brothers or even their neighbors or even those who are in the same school with her or him. Don't again put pressure on your child, because maybe you as parents, you have also done very well and you expected your child to do very well, and you feel like you are embarrassed because of the performance of your child, and you pressure your child, you need to do well. You see, we as parents, we have done very well and we also want you to do very well. Yeah, you may have done very well, but your child is not like you. Allow them to be who they are. Don't pressurize a child just because of the family image. You want them, you want your family to be seen as a family of very intelligent persons. Again, I would want to say we are different. That child is unique and they may not have performed the way you expected because they are also unique and they have their own strength. Their strength may not be in that area. And remember, that exam was only assessing maybe whatever they have learned whatever they have been taught. But your child could be very strong in other areas. So stop putting a lot of pressure on that child. Putting pressure on them will actually make the child so stressed, so anxious, that they cannot even be able to perform very well because of the pressure that they are having to be able to meet the family expectation, to be able to meet, to be like their siblings. Allow them to be who they are. Allow them to be who God made them to be. So please, parents, don't shame your child, don't condemn them, don't charge them for the performance that they have achieved. But know that child is unique. Allow them to be who they are. And secondly, some of the things that you need to do during this time in order to be able to even boost their self-esteem and confidence is to show love to this child. Love them unconditionally and give them time to even express themselves. Listen to them. What they need right now is people who can listen to them. Listen to your child. Allow them to express their feelings. Allow them to express their frustration. And they cannot do this if you've not been so open to them. If you have not been people who would actually be willing to sit, give time to your child. It's very, very important that you give time to your child. Even if it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, to be able to listen to them. Allow them to express the way they are feeling. And that is very important and will go a long way. Even during frustrating moments, like when they have not done even the way they expected, they'll still be able to express and tell you how they feel, and tell you maybe how they are frustrated, and tell you the way even the exams were. I know they've been very anxious as they wait for the results, but now it's time that you listen to them without judging them, without condemning them. Encourage them, reassure them even of your love. And when you reassure them, they'll not feel like the exam is divining them. And remember, regardless of the results, that child has a potential in life. They have a place in the community, and they'll be someone because I know they have some strength. So it's very important that you give them time. Give them time to even heal and even be a role model of being positive, of being optimistic, even regardless of the challenges that you could be going through. And when you do that, you'll also help your child be able to learn to be positive and optimistic during times of disappointment, during times of challenges, and that will actually boost their self-esteem even going forward as they go into the future. But when you condemn, when you charge them, when you don't give them space and even listen to them, they'll actually be wounded, and they learn to actually treat themselves. They'll medicate themselves, even using substances to try and even calm the pain that they are going through. They'll medicate themselves with different addictive behaviors, and in the long run, you lose that child. You lose that child. And I know it's not the desire of any parent to be able to lose their child. So take time to encourage, take time to show that you care, take time to support them during this time, and they'll be able to even be confident to tell you. So as you go forward, as you even prepare for next year, as you think of what next for that child, show that child that you love them unconditionally. Show them that you accept them the way they are, that you are even proud of the effort that they were able to put to reach that far, because they must have worked hard. They must have achieved their potential. And one thing that is very important, they need to know that you value them. more than their performance. They need to know that regardless of the performance, you still take them as their child, as their son, as their daughter,